Oh yeah. Oh yes. Pick six, baby. All right, man. So check this out. We live here in SoCal, right? And Eric, we have two teams, not one, but two.
Two.
Two, right? And look, we all know this. We've been saying it for a long time, man, and everybody knows this. Okay, neither one of the teams has a great fan base here in SoCal, man. And
Okay at best.
well, the Rams probably have the better fan. Well, the Rams do have a better fan base than the Chargers, but they're probably like in sixth place. I would say the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Packers, well, the Niners, Steelers, and maybe even the Packers have a better fan base than the Rams. Maybe they rival the Packers somewhere around there. Now, so they're about like in fifth, sixth place.
Right.
When you talk about the Chargers, you're going to have to name a few more teams. I would say the Dolphins, the Seahawks have a better fan base than the Chargers. Okay.
Right.
My question to you is what can both of these franchises do to take over Los Angeles for Los Angeles to be their city, like the Lakers, like the Dodgers, heck, USC. Yeah, there's some UCLA fans and stuff, but let's be honest, man. USC, it's their city. What can these two franchises do? Or is there anything that they can do? Or is this just the way it is?
Okay. So you named some pretty historic teams right there.
All right.
Okay. Um, what I mean is the Lakers, Dodgers, and those teams.
Mm.
How did they win over this city? They won. They won. They won consistently. There were dynasties in there, and if there is any hope for those two teams to gain ground, is to have a dynasty. That's the only way. Yeah, I mean, in a big city like LA, that's a championship city, you're gonna have to win, and you're gonna have to win consistently. So that's their one way.
I know there's people may be asking, like, hey, what about the Clippers? Don't make us laugh. Okay. It's a Laker town. And the Angels, look, shouts to the Angel fans, but let's be honest, it's bleed blue, Dodger blue all day, man. It doesn't even come close. Um, I would, there is one thing, man. Having popular, because they do reach out to the communities. If you watch like the news and everything, the Rams and the Chargers, they are in the communities and they go to the schools and all that stuff. But I think winning is probably the number one thing. However, you do need to bring some stars. When you talk about the Lakers, when you had, Magic Johnson, you had Kobe Bryant, you had Shaquille O'Neal, right? You had those guys, man. The Dodgers, right? You had Fernando Mania, you had Earl Hershiser, you had names, Clayton Kershaw, you had guys. These teams right now, there's really nobody that catches the buzz outside of the team. Like when those names, like Fernando Mania, it was throughout MLB. It was throughout baseball, right? When you had Magic Johnson, we had Kobe Bryant. It was throughout the NBA. When you think about the Rams, when you think about the Chargers, there is no real stars there that goes throughout the NFL. If you're a Rams fan, there might be a star for you. If you're a Charger fan, there might be some star for you, but nothing that covers across the NFL. Don't you think that will help?
Yeah, it will help a little bit, but it is a little tricky. It goes back to the thing where LA didn't have a team for what,
Yeah, for a long time.
25 years?
For yeah,
20 years. It was a while.
It was a long, long time that the NFL was not in Los Angeles. And I'll throw this out there too. I think Jim Harbaugh coming to the Chargers, I think that does help. Okay, I think that, but like you said, winning is the thing. You think they're gonna need to go like on Bill Belichick, Tom Brady dynasty and go out and start winning Super Bowls?
I hope we don't see another dynasty like that unless it's a Steelers like that type of dynasty. But 3 Super Bowls in 10 years or something like that. Just win and win consistently. Even if they're not winning the Super Bowl, at least making it to the playoffs every year. Something like that. But you gotta have those Super Bowls as well. Okay. I'm making that very clear. You have to have those Super Bowls as well and to be consistently good.
Yeah, be competitive all the way. Winning your division.
Yeah.
That would be pretty damn good. Winning your division, consistently owning your division, that'll definitely help. But do you see any of this happening?
It's gonna be hard. Honestly, I think if there's a team to do it, it might actually be the Chargers at this point.
Probably their fan base is starting to grow a little bit. They're still behind. They're still behind. I would say this, man, before we wrap it up. I thought both teams dropped the ball when they moved to LA, man. I thought they did. It's like, especially the Chargers. The Rams, they did have a little bit of fan base in LA because they used to be from Los Angeles, but their fan base is a lot of more old school dudes, man, like in their 70s and 60s and 50s and stuff. Not to say that you don't have any young Rams fans, but like I said, I could name 4, maybe 5 teams before we get to the better fan base, before we get to the Rams. But especially the Chargers. Look, this is a Raider town. If you talk about what's the biggest fan base, it's still the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah.
The Cowboys come close. Steelers have a great fan base behind them as well, man. But you are a divisional rival of the Raiders. And you come here as the Los Angeles Chargers. Change the name, change the logo, change everything, and become its own. When the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, they did not become the Tennessee Oilers. They became the Tennessee Titans. Change everything. Change the logo. Change the name. Would it work today? I don't know, because you're already kind of here. But when there was time to move, I thought, especially the Chargers, I think the Rams probably should have done it as well, but especially the Chargers. And Chargers, let's be honest, man, when you were in San Diego, you guys didn't have that big of a fan base either. The Raiders went and they dominated. They would take over that stadium as well in Qualcomm, man. So don't you think that's what they should have done? They should have changed everything.
It would have helped. You know what? Honestly, I think the team that should have probably moved to LA should have been the Raiders.
Yeah,
because
that would have
realistically they do have the bigger fan base out here. I mean, it is a Raider town. Maybe the Chargers should have been the one to move to Vegas.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Vegas. They didn't really have a professional team beforehand. I know. Apparently they had a pretty big Raider fan base before, right?
Yeah, well, a lot of people from here moved there, so
right. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Both teams are kind of put in a tough situation. I have to say too. The football town, as far as LA being a football town, probably kind of died down a little bit too. Maybe we're not too big on football anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
I would just say they dropped the ball, man. Change the color, change the name, change everything. You are a divisional rival of the Raiders. That would have helped. But ultimately, I guess what you said, man, win.
Yeah.
Win and have stars. Have stars that stick out in the NFL. Have stars. And I think that would definitely help. Do I see that happening? No, but you know what? You said something interesting. I think the Chargers are probably doing it a little bit more this season than the Rams are.
Chargers are starting to pick up ground. So watch out, Rams. Watch out. Hey, Chargers are starting to get there. They're starting to make a name for themselves out here.
I'm actually more interested in the Rams. I'm in the Chargers than I am in the Rams. Just saying, because there's a little bit more going on over there.
All right.
All right, pick 6. Catch you guys on next one.